Don, have you randomly gone on MLB.com today and checked the all-time stats?
No.
Because today they added the Negro League stats.
Oh, yeah,
right?
I did see they were going to do that. I didn't know.
But I just did it for fun, though. I went to MLB.com.
Right.
And then just looked at the top of hitting, and the first name that comes up is Josh Gibson. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting going through and seeing all these new names that are there. It's actually at the top of most categories. There's not that many changes, but there are a few big ones. Josh Gibson being the biggest one, of course. Batting for his career, 372 with an OPS of 777. I just thought that was interesting.
Well, all I'll say is this: there's a lot of people that are pushing back and saying, "Well, why doesn't the NBA include ABA stats, and why doesn't the NHL include WHA stat?" I think there's a difference. Another league, there are players that choose to go play in that league, either because they made money, like Bobby Hull, or they weren't good enough to play in the NHL. We never got to see what the Negro League players could do because they weren't allowed in Major League Baseball. So it wasn't like they chose to play in that league or couldn't cut it in MLB and had to go to the Negro Leagues. They were forced to go to the Negro Leagues. So all we know is that they were the better players to begin with. And when you look at history and you look at Willie, you look at Hank Aaron and Satchel Paige, it was proven that they could hang. Now, not just hang, but excel. So I think that's the difference. So I understand whenever you make change, especially in baseball, you almost have a stroke. But this is very well deserved, and I don't think that there is a direct parallel you can make with other sports because it's not the USFL.
No, someone said, I forget who I saw. It might have been Ty Butler. Was it Ty Butler again? Someone I saw say online something that was so basic and it summed up the whole thing. They said all of you are saying that these Negro League players weren't playing against the best players. Well, hey, evidently, neither were the players in Major League Baseball. So everybody was separated. That was the whole thing with segregation, So interesting. If you go to MLB.com, though, and you look, you will see changes to some of these major categories.
And what that's going to do for somebody like a Ty Butler who's younger, that maybe didn't know a lot about Josh Gibson, to learn about an amazing player like that.
It certainly made me go look and go, wow. That's cool. You know the main names, and obviously Josh Gibson's a legend, but seeing him there above Babe Ruth is pretty cool to see.